shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is, I don't know, Inspector Clouseau, something. And welcome to Gino's Spot. Gino's Spot every Tuesday. Make sure that you are part of the new army of people that are watching Gino's Spot on YouTube. Make sure that you are subscribing to YouTube with Gino's Spot, because it is wonderful. We interview a new person every single week. It is magnifique. We are wearing this beautiful moustache, you will notice, for a reason. Myself and my new guest, which I will introduce very shortly. And this is for November months. Oui, oui. So, I don't know, speaking in a French accent, because this moustache is most definitely French. Welcome to Gino's Spot, and absolutely remember to subscribe to YouTube. That was not a joke. YouTube is the best place to watch Gino's Spot, and you click on the little bell, and it reminds you every single week of a new guest that we have. Somebody from PE, somebody from Gqeberha, someone from East London, someone from the Eastern Cape, that is part of your community if you're watching in the Eastern Cape, and someone that makes our lives better around us. Right. Also, I have to tell you, we have some amazing stuff going on at Centre Stage Bay West at the moment. There's a pile of stuff happening. You can always phone Wendy and find out what's happening. And then also my own show will be on the, we're doing the 80s, Magnificent 80s. I'll be playing in that show. That's on the 14th of November. And the 22nd of November will be a comedy show. And I think Gary is calling it something like the worst of Gino Fabry or something. And so we're going to have a show with the rugby. Springboks are playing Ireland, and we are going to be doing a comedy show then as well. So don't miss out. Get your tickets from Wendy. Phone the number, phone the number. So ladies and gentlemen, also thank you to our sponsors, of course, Fitch & Leeds, as you can see it on this side over here, Fitch & Leeds, who have been with us from the very beginning. From the 2020, and then also Pinion, our new sponsors for Fitch & Leeds, and then Pinion, our new sponsors, which are also our accountants, which is bloody marvelous. Lovely to have handy as an accountant, somebody around just to count the money, the non-existent money that we make as musicians. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new guest today. It's Mark Eaton. He is a psychologist, and we're going to be chatting to him about his journey and about what he's been doing. He helped me out a little while ago with something which I'll explain to you just now, which is quite interesting as well. He's got, it's all sorts of new stuff. We'll be chatting around. Let's give an introduction.
Welcome to the show. Now it's your time to shine. We're gonna have a chat tonight. Another good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mark Eaton. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Fantastic to have you on the show. And actually, you've grown a marvelous moustache for my venue as well. Can you see it? There's I don't know. Yours look more German somehow, as if you're Prussian.
Yes, very, very full and ready for whatever you've got to throw at me today.
Why did it
yours is already
already falling off?
Dripping.
I'm dripping already, my goodness.
Milady droops, only Lord withers. We were having a discussion about Monty Python before, weren't we?
Yes, we were. This definitely looks a bit Monty Python.
Yes.
Yes. They're fantastic, these things.
Well, in the line of things, we're talking about the more stable one and the less
Yes,
stable
yes,
one
less
over here.
stable.
So,
This is most definitely less stable. Mark Eaton, tell me now, Mark. I met you actually through Philippa, although I'd known. I'm sure I'd met you playing piano somewhere along the way because you're also we say a pianist. A pianist.
you have to pronounce
a
that
piano
correctly.
player. And there we go. We got a quick comment already here. Jaden saying, "How's it? The French waiters. Oh, oui, oui.
There we go. So that's my son in Stellenbosch right now. So,
Fantastic.
Hey, Jay.
Hello, Jay. We are looking magnifique. and so I know you were helping him out now, and I want to explain to the guys as well my situation because it's had quite an impact on my life as well.
Well, that's
that you helped me out with, which is marvelous. With
wonderful.
a thing called BWRT. BWRT.
Yeah, and we can get to talking about
yeah, we'll
that.
chat about that later.
But why are we wearing these moustaches?
Well, yes, because of November,
Ah.
and last month as well was Mental Wellness Month.
Yeah,
And
globally. So it was
globally.
Mental Health Awareness Month globally.
Okay.
There was a day, one of the days was meant to be Mental Health Day.
Okay.
And I think, and then so we've missed that, but
Okay.
we're now into Movember, which
November already.
also
Yes.
actually is really about males and how mental health in males needs to be, some
helped.
awareness generated about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Because us males are a little bit of a funny breed of things.
you
aren't
know,
we?
yes, we are.
We need help.
We do,
need help.
and I think the male as opposed to female often don't ask for that help enough.
That's correct.
And everybody has mental issues, some sort of mental issue. Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got some sort of anxiety. Everyone's got some sort of issue. And as you get older, I feel we get more and more, fragile with the stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you find that with age, is that a thing?
Well, yeah, we get exposed to more traumas, we get exposed to more life changes, we get exposed to the effects of aging, and it really is taxing on one.
Yeah.
Life is really, really interesting, but with all the upsides, there are also those downsides.
Yeah, you're right. And like you say with November, it's the manliness. Come on, you got to be the guy. You got to be the breadwinner. You got to be the one that everybody relies on. Yeah. And often that's that attacks your mental health. Look at ours.
Yeah, look at ours.
Oh, we're gonna take us off now.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we better. Let's get a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
I'll keep it over here for later. For when after Philippa, when Philippa and I get into the bedroom, we'll try a bit of moustache. So cheers and welcome to the show.
Well, cheers. Yeah,
fantastic to have you on.
Yeah.
So I just attended a webinar of yours, which was marvelous as well.
Ah, yes.
With the slide, what is it?
Swipe.
Okay. Yeah.
So should I let the listeners into a little bit about what that acronym BWRT is all about? Okay, so BWRT stands for Brain Working Recursive Therapy.
Okay.
Can I just let that sink in?
Brain working recursive therapy. And the recursive element to it, it talks about looping. All right.
And the whole idea with this is it's a neuroscience-based therapy that really, really works really quickly. And this is why I'm so really passionate about it, because it lends itself to trying to help heal difficulties and fix problems and ameliorate anxieties in a very, very quick way.
Yeah.
And also, talking about Movember and us guys that are a little bit resistant to talking, the nice thing about BWRT is that you don't actually have to talk and talk and talk about what's going on. As long as you know what you're wanting to process or work on or try and overcome, and that you can get a visual image representing that. Yeah.
So it's almost like, because I think to give an example, we'll talk about my thing. About 3 years ago, I had I actually fainted, and I fainted quite into a deep faint, so. What happens is when people talk about blood and guts, and I think I know a lot of people that have the same problem. People talk about blood and guts and things, and I've asked people on the show here even about their injuries, and I've felt sick. Sick. I've even been on the show. I think I've almost collapsed on the show a few times, which has been crazy. But when people talk about this stuff, I get you'd go into this vortex of thinking, oh, what's wrong with me? Am I okay? Am I feeling faint? And then you'd really feel faint, blood pressure drops.
Yeah.
And I'd actually go into
a vasovagal attack.
Vasovagal attack.
Yeah.
So I had this vasovagal attack, and I had a very serious one during COVID, where we were going up to a gig. We were driving up to a gig, and I pulled over. I wasn't feeling nice because we were talking about blood and guts and whatever. And I fainted, and because there was a lack of oxygen to my brain, I actually had a seizure. So one thing led to the next, and then I had the seizure, which then crushed my spine.
Yeah, and that's traumatic, isn't it?
Traumatic,
Really
man. And I was out of it for 6 months. I actually discovered after 3 months that my spine had actually crushed, and I've got a fracture of the spine, which is then now healed. But ever since then, I'd been, every time somebody talks about something like that, you'd be fearful. You'd be like, oh, hell, okay, they're talking about this now. What is it? In your mind, you're thinking, oh, I don't want to hear this. But now I'm just too late. I'm going into and you'd spiral. Yeah. And I came to you, Philippa, as she always does, drags me kicking and screaming, And I'm very...
Yes, folk, he was. He was kicking and screaming.
I was.
Through the door.
And I actually, because I'm quite a skeptic with all this stuff. I'm not big into like natural healing. I mean, there's certainly, I never shut off completely to any ideas. Well, but I'm a science guy.
I love skeptics, by the way.
Yeah, already. Yeah. I'm a science guy, so I'm like, okay, is this really going to work? Yeah. And I got to admit that since that session, I've not feared that anymore, and I can go into there without a problem. Like I said, and I think if you practice that method that you did with me, you say it's like a looping thing,
Yeah.
You take your brain away from where it's going, where it would normally go, and you shortcut it and bring it back, and shortcut and bring it back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even really necessary for you to practice it. And let's be honest, have you actually practiced any of that?
I've done it. I must admit, I did give it a go, because you did tell me that if you practice it, it makes it stronger.
Well, yeah, it's certainly not going to do any harm, but often the actual exercise, which lasts about 15 minutes or so, where you are doing that looping,
yes,
and replacing that uncomfortable, traumatic experience with the better one, it often does it. It often solves the problem, 80% of the time. And yes, absolutely, thinking about it again and again, it just strengthens those pathways. But ultimately, it leads to you sort of naturally, unconsciously just being settled.
Yeah.
And so those other triggers that would have occurred...
Would have triggered before. It was absolutely quite amazing. And I like
I'm surprised you're even talking about it now.
So, yeah.
And you're quite comfortable.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I think so many people that I've met have said, I feel nauseous if people talk about something, or I feel faint, or actually passed out before, and it really is a way to circumvent it, almost like before you even go down that path, you're already okay, which is what most people do. I mean, I suppose that's if you don't suffer from that, or you don't have that problem, then you never have to worry about trying to fix it. But so it's just a trip back to normality, I suppose.
Yeah. So you're living proof.
Yeah,
BWRT can work.
It can work, and the workshop the other night as well. Online you do these workshops as well, which was quite good. And I loved your video, your camera, and your, the way you set it up. By the way, I thought it was even nicer than Gino's spot.
Oh, thank you for that. But I mean, you got a great show, and I think. We were talking before the show, and we were talking about how COVID shifted things, and it actually created opportunities for us to look outside of the box and do things differently. So I just love what you've been doing, and combining your inherent talents and doing it and displaying it online.
Yeah,
and
online.
interviewing people.
It's become, and I think you just got to do it regularly. But I like the way that you've taken your practice, because you obviously you're booked up till next year Feb or something, I think, with your, you know, as psychologists are. And I'm a bit of I'm a bit of a philistine with this stuff as well, because there's psychometrists, psychiatrists, psychologists. What is the difference there? What is the...
Yeah, so psychiatrists are medical doctors trained first, and then they specialize in psychiatry, which is mainly to deal, you know, with the medication.
Okay.
So they're the ones that prescribe the medication, and they understand how it, you know, it really affects the whole biology of the person. Whereas psychologists work more with the emotions. You know, as a neuropsychologist as well, I do a lot of, you know, I'm quite well versed in a lot of the biology as well. So I do a lot of medical legal evaluations, but essentially when it comes to treatment, it's treating the software of the mind.
Yeah.
Which is what we use BWRT for. And then
okay.
psychometrists are professionals who mainly deal with psychometric testing. So they will be doing the IQ testing, or they'll be doing some personality or career testing in a certain line. Generally, though, I have to say that they need to be supervised by a psychologist.
Okay, so it's stats really.
Yeah, it's stats and understanding,
psychometry,
interpreting what you can derive from some of these.
So psychology is, like you said, I like the way you put it, like the software of the brain. So that, because that's fab. Because I mean, everything that you see, everything that you hear, touch, it's all processed and translated in that brain of ours to become something like that. And you can literally fool your, you know, that's how I suppose you can fool your eyes and fool your, you know, your taste and your thing. It's everything is just translated into brainwaves, and that freaked me out when I realized that for the first time, that your vision, light reflected on the back of your retina or whatever, that takes it in, and then your brain has to translate that, you know. So you have to go into all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the exciting thing is, as a psychologist, this is what gets me up in the morning, is to be able to intervene with the brain of a person, you know, the software of the brain, because you know, with it being Mental Health Month, just to deviate back to that and talking about burnout and those sorts of things, you know, if you think about the body, and I've been doing various presentations to doctors and specialists lately, and I ask them the question, which organs are affected by burnout? And, you know, they think of various organs.
Heart, I suppose.
Heart, What other? Come on, what other organs do you know of?
Burnout. Well, I mean, I know if you get very stressed, your breathing even becomes things. I don't know if it's lungs or if that's to do with the heart. I don't know. But certainly.
Do you know what the biggest organ is in the body? And by the way, this is parental. Well, what is the big? What is the,
well, I know what mine is.
biggest organ in the body?
It must be it's probably the brain.
It's the skin.
Oh, of course.
The skin is the biggest
organ. Of
organ.
course, I keep on forgetting that's an organ.
Eczemas and, you know, all of those things. So actually, all organs, directly or indirectly, can be affected by burnout. You know, if it's pervasive stress, chronic stress. But what organ do we need to focus on to try and correct or intervene proactively?
Yeah, the brain.
There we go. We're recursively circling back to what you were saying just now.
I see that. Yeah, it's true. Wow. So and then the brain, obviously, you know, it's incredible. I mean, it does freak me out that this one organ just controls absolutely everything. You know, if there's one that's just like the king of all organs, is it the brain? There's a joke that says the arsehole is, you know, but because if that stops, then everything just everything dies. But I mean, everything's important, but the brain controls absolutely everything.
Yeah. And would you be surprised to know that a lot of our choices and behaviors are actually unconsciously driven? Yeah.
I mean, we don't even think about it. That's why it just happens automatically. Breathing, moving, balance.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's that hindbrain.
Okay.
Because that's the survival center of the brain, and that's where it regulates all of those, you know, living survival processes. But it also is tuned into making sure we survive emotionally, psychologically, and so those traumatic incidences, those danger episodes, it gets anchored in the brain as triggers to say, okay, I need to avoid this in future, because it triggers off that fight or flight response.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so that looping thing, and
It's underneath that to
underneath that.
rewire those.
To try and rewire it there. I always think of a bird in flight. You know, a bird flying towards a prey, a little insect flying or whatever, and there's wind, there's stuff going on. That bird doesn't even think about where it's flying. Its wings change all the time to get itself in that and keep itself, going straight without even thinking. It's just unbelievable how it contorts in the air.
Yeah.
Without even I mean, it's got a tiny little brain like that, and yet it can do all this.
Yeah, instinctually.
And you try and fly an airplane through a storm and see how far you get if you try and fly straight.
I haven't done that.
Haven't yet.
I haven't done that yet. It's not on my bucket list.
Though. No. You don't put me in a plane either. I think I will most certainly crash. But okay, let's go back a bit into the history here, Mark. Where are you from originally? Were you born here?
Yeah, born and bred in Port Elizabeth.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My parents are British, so they were born and bred in England, and when they got married, they moved over to South Africa.
Did he come out with Ford or something?
My father actually started with EP Timbers, so he was in the construction industry. So he used to be one of the people in the Royal Carpenters Society. So he actually used to work on restoring the wood, ornate wood work in the cathedrals in London and those sort of areas.
Okay, yeah, because
so he came out and he was
in England they have those things. There's the stonemasons where they build this beautiful stone and they chip it up with you have to learn it in a certain way so that you can restore those buildings to be exact, and exactly like they were in the old days.
Because they're monuments and they have to be restored in a particular way.
So proper artisan, hey?
Yeah.
Amazing. I think these. I always say I hope these sort of these trades don't die. That they keep going. But I've just been to St. Francis. I saw some lovely stonework there. So the guys are still around. I see it.
Well, AI can't rob us of the artisans, and I think the artisans are.
Yeah.
They need to be there because AI can't yet do it. I don't know. They talk about robots.
Robots, we don't know.
Catch up.
Let's see where that's going to lead. But I see some robots online, but you don't know whether they're AI robots or whether they're real robots. You don't know anything's AI.
Oh, true.
Okay, so then born in PE, where were you at school?
So I went to Grey Junior.
Okay.
Progressed on to Grey High School, but after my standard 6 year, which is grade 8, I moved to Alexander Road High School.
Okay.
Which is very much a school that at the time was very drama orientated, very music driven, and it was it was co-ed, whereas Grey High School, Grey Junior, Grey High School were,
it was Van der Berg.
He was the orchestra conductor, music head of department. Yeah,
he was there. Johan van der Berg. That's what I'm trying to think of Johan's name, and he's a lovely guy as well. Yeah. And I think he went to collegiate. I don't know if he's still teaching anymore.
No, he's not teaching at collegiate.
Okay.
I don't know. I lost track where he was. But he did retire a number of years ago.
Okay. But he was part of that whole and growing that. The Alexians were really good musicians as well. A lot of them coming out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know from in center stage. I mean, Tuba Mieki, Jace Bowden, and Debbie Everard.
Yeah.
So many of the musos were
also, a good friend of ours is David Opperman.
Dave! Oh, shame, just passed away. Yeah, it was
tragically.
Yeah, he was busy with, at our venue, and man, what a lovely guy. I mean, I knew Dave from I think 1990 or 91.
Yeah,
just such a generous soul, So a beautiful person. Yeah, we to lose people like that. It's not great. And I know Ronnie from Lineout, so he worked there at Lineout for many years as well.
Yeah.
And of course, he worked with Andrew Creef as well, which I know that you know as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and Andrew might have been Alex Boy as well, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Originally,
And
yeah.
Dwayne.
Yes, Dwayne Creef, yeah.
And his older
Travis, yeah. Travis and Dwayne, yes, they were from Alex as well.
Correct, yeah.
Lovely, also lovely people. Ingrid, she's the one that keeps us all in line, you know.
Yes. Absolutely.
But she's quite naughty herself, if you get it, you know. Somebody tag Ingrid, please.
Yes,
she should be watching.
We all need a dose of naughtiness now.
Yes, we do. And, yeah, no, Ingrid likes that too. And it's because you wouldn't be able to do with Andrew. You wouldn't be able to get away with it with not having that, because he's always got a bit of a little comment here and there. But yeah, and that group, I mean, that's the Harvest group there. That and I believe he played piano, the piano at Harvest as well. He's still playing then.
Yeah, still play piano, electric piano, keyboards. Absolutely.
Lovely, man. Because I actually started. I remember when Harvest was still at Marist. Do you remember when Marist was still around? They had the junior school.
Yeah, so I wasn't there at that time. I was actually at Woman Methodist at the time. And
with
then
the Glovers.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Debbie and Hugh Glover.
And
all of them. And so
Jarvis.
And when my wife and I went overseas to England for about 3.5 years. And then when we returned, we, just because of having Jaden, our son, who may still be online and watching, we moved to Harvest just because the
youth side.
The youth side, the choir room side, but that we've got such good relationships with Harvest as well as Women Methodist.
The churches work together a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
They work together a lot. And I mean, Debbie and Hugh Glover, legends as well. And I think it was Reverend Jarvis. I think it was Jarvis.
Jolliffe.
Jolliffe.
That's right.
Jolliffe, not Jarvis. Jolliffe. Yeah.
At the time.
Jolliffe. And because we used to always go there. Had the guild for the youngsters.
Yes.
Used to go to the guild every Friday night and have fun.
Right. Yeah. Lots of fun was had.
Yes, there was.
In those upstairs rooms.
Yes.
And lots of lives changed in many positive ways.
Sure, it was a good, positive thing in my life as well, for sure. Even though I'm Italian, so cattolica, in nome di Padre, di Figlio, di Spirito Santo.
Yeah.
And so, but now let's get back to school. So, Alex, you enjoyed Alex. Did you enjoy school?
Yeah. I loved school. I think actually Alex helped me come out of my shell. To be honest, I'm actually a little bit of an introvert. People wouldn't say it necessarily if you see me playing keyboards or when I'm doing any presentations or keynote speaking, but I'm quite an introvert.
Yes.
But I think one of my phobias, you spoke about your phobias, I think one of my phobias was public speaking.
Oh.
And so at Grey, I remember, they used to get us to read in front of the class, going down the lines.
That was shite.
I would put up my hand to go to the toilet, so it would skip me. Actually, and I think it was probably grounded. At Grey we had to do cadets.
Yes.
And you had to scream your name, but my voice was breaking at the time, and so it was like, it was a terrible squeaky. And so I was absolutely terrified, and then that carried over into Alex. And then when I went there, doing an oral in class was a nightmare until one day we got, we used to be given the topics. Yeah. This is the title. This is what you need to have your oral on.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
But I remember in standard 9, so it was grade 11.
Yeah.
We could choose our own topic. So I thought long and hard about this. And I chose the topic humor. And what I did is I took my school tie and I tied it very, very short. And I had some of these jokes prepared.
Okay.
And so I went up in front of the class. I was absolutely terrified. Absolutely terrified. But I stood up in front of the class and they started laughing. Yeah. And I realized they were laughing at the tie. And I felt relaxed. And then I said, my topic is humor. and to start, and then I read some things, so I could anchor on
Yeah,
something.
yes.
You know, I was
Yeah,
shaking
sure,
my
yeah,
boots,
yeah.
but I could anchor on something there, and they laughed. And then I read the next line, and then they laughed, and something clicked in me. And I thought, wow, this is life changing.
Yeah.
And so
Response.
the response was great, and from there, I loved doing orals. Or I experimented. I had quite a few good comedian type friends, and we used to do these, you know, whose line is it anyway
Yes.
type impromptu orals. And so
Okay.
over that period of time, I think I sort of overcame that phobia just through
Amazing
facing the fear.
how you say that. I mean, I never. I mean, everybody is nervous, I think, when they speak publicly first. But I think I almost had the same thing, but I didn't realize it because I was naturally always a bit of a joker, and so there would always be a little bit of humor or something in my orals. And when I got that response, like you say,
Yeah.
that certainly helped me and then pushed me to go further. And every time it was the oral, then it was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I could do oral. And I was right at like literally while everybody else was doing their orals, I was doing mine. Typical.
Well, talk about going further. You've gone very far.
That's the thing. So, I mean, and when I started to go onto stage, I realized I could act and I could really
Command the
contort
room.
my face.
You command the room.
Command it and whip up a crowd.
Yeah.
You know, it's gone from just a bit of humor just to get through, all the way through to that you know that with any audience you'll be okay. You know, you can stand up and you can whip them up, and I can have them dancing and clapping within like 20 minutes. Let's have a look at another comments over here. Let's see. Let's go to Wendy. Oh, tag in Wendy. Thank you for Ingrid. Yes, please tag Ingrid and Andrew.
Hello, Ingrid. Hello,
Yes,
Andrew.
we've got to have some of the
Cheers.
Harvest people online as well,
Yeah.
because Mark's part of that whole vibe. It's making them sound very good there at the church.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so finishing school, were you playing the piano at school as well?
Yes, I was. In fact, even in high school, I was actually playing at various venues. I used to play at the old Pine Inn restaurant.
Oh.
I started there. Well, you know Gay Ornell.
Yes.
You'll remember
yes.
Gay Ornell.
I know Gay Ornell.
And so, you know, I was involved with various showtimes and playing keyboards and backing. And
I wonder if I played a showtime with you.
yeah, well, we actually were. What you remember the Opera House, and we did the On the Go show. So when you were doing Eminent Child, I was accompanying a couple of people. So I was playing backing, and then
who were you accompanying with? Angeline and that lot?
No, not with Milk, but I
Milk.
did.
That was
you know,
right.
That was Milk. That was David
was
Opperman
Dave.
and Angeline.
Yeah.
Weed at the time, but there was a Gareth that I accompanied at one stage, but there was also a Solomon Tjatja. There was a black guy, a very lovely voice, and I accompanied him. I accompanied a couple of other people, but we also remember
Bully. Bully G was there as well. In a white dress.
I didn't accompany her at the time. But remember, it was Radio Algoa at that time. They used to get us to go and do shows at Woodridge and at the Beachfront Splash Festival.
Okay, yes, Splash Festival as well. Yes.
So,
okay.
So we sort of crossed paths there a little bit.
Right. Of course, yeah. We always did that. But the On the Go show, I'm actually sorry that the On the Go show is not going still.
Yeah.
Because the On the Go was an amazing sort of learning ground and an encouragement thing that musos could have.
Absolutely.
You know,
that was good fun.
They'd have their fans, you know, they come with all their people, and they were going to shout for them, you know, and make sure, you know, and I think in the 60s and 70s it was really massive.
Yeah.
By the time it got to the 80s and 90s, it was sort of fading a little, you know. But they still had good support, I think, On the Go show. Yeah. There was also the Herald. The Herald used to do that.
That's right.
And I think it was Arthur Shannon that used to run that. Yeah. That one. Amazing competition. I think they should still definitely do it again for the young bands. Yeah. Because you need that encouragement. Like you're just talking about the fact that you get that response, and then the confidence is there. And same with the music.
And it's something you need practice. I think we saw that in schools as well with school musicians. after COVID, when they were all locked away behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Getting back into school, because I was also chairman of the governing body at Collegiate Junior School.
Okay.
And serving on the governing body for a long time. And also we found that when children were going back to school, we had to enable them to have opportunities to get back up on stage,
Yes.
get playing the instrument in groups. So there's no substitute really for just performing and doing it. And
did you find that was also a source of confidence for you, the music?
Oh yeah, I think it's part of my identity. As much as it is, it has been playing in restaurants, playing for weddings and those sorts of things. It's also, my growing up has been in playing in church and worshiping and just giving my talent over and serving in that regard. So I mean, being a musician is part of my identity, and it's one, I guess, not a lot of people who see me as a client, you sitting opposite me as a client won't know that necessarily. That I've got this history as a musician. I'm still actively playing.
Yes.
Also writing music and those sorts of things for some of those online things, and getting my daughter to sing.
Yes, he did a song on his webinar. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and my kids are all musicians as well. So that my son Jaden, he's a drummer. So
oh wow,
he's
I really enjoy that. I mean, Jaden, you got to have a look at I've actually got a new thing that's gone completely viral. I think.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
I got it. It's there we go. Ask Mark about the Lego Rock Band. Tell me about the Lego Rock before I get into my stories.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
So,
I like that.
I had this idea that we'll introduce music through Lego Rock Band, and Lego Rock Band is guitar. Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, yeah.
So,
it was on PS3 or whatever it was.
PS3 at the time. Yeah. So I saw this, and there was a sort of a kiddie-friendly version called Lego Rock Band, but it used the same little drum pads and guitars and stuff. And so when Jaden was young, I would get him on the drums, and I would be thrashing away with a guitar on a big screen, which David Opperman actually installed for us at our home.
From sound and light specialists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back then.
And we had a nice big flat screen TV, and my little son was there on these little pads, and I was there thrashing away on this electric guitar to 80s rock band stuff. And,
excellent.
And Jaden got his rhythm, and I just saw this, and I thought very, very quickly we're going to progress him, and we got a professional Tama kit.
Like a kit, There's a Tama kit in the background here, actually. Oh, no, this one's the Ludwig. Sorry, I haven't got the Tama.
Oh, fancy.
I've got about 5. Can't stop.
Yeah, and so it just developed from there, and he...
Wow.
So he's done brilliantly.
Because drums is the best. And you can get out all your frustrations. You bang it out. Yeah, they do take, Philippa says, a long time to pack them up. You're right. But it's worth it. It's worth every single ounce of sweat that I've packed out my drum kit for. And the chicks dig it.
Chicks, there we go.
Chicks
Jay.
dig it.
You got to capitalize on that, Jay.
It's like, it's crazy how, but music, it certainly gave me that confidence, that feeling that, okay, doesn't matter, I can't do rugby, can't play, I'll get tackled, whatever, I'll play soccer, I make the third team, play tennis, I lose more than I win, but I can play drums, I can still do that.
And so back to you about this video.
Yeah, there's video. So there's a video out there. Just go and look it up on TikTok or whatever. It's for the drums. Jaden, I did an Afro house, African house music. I took a history, and my son put it together for me. He's a DJ, and I learned this. He took like 15 songs, bangers, like really the best, the most well-known, most loved and treasured songs from all the South African artists from 1980 through to today, and we put it in order, and I learned that thing, and I I played it at a race the other day. It was in Eaton, and there's a whole bunch of house fans there. You know, I'm a piano, what I call kwaito. You know, because it goes through all these genres. And they went absolutely ballistic. I played drums to the stuff. They went ballistic. And it's gone now. It was recorded and we put it online, and it went completely viral. There's like 600,000 at the moment. I don't know. It's going.
Wow.
It's going mad. So check it out as well.
Counting.
And counting.
600,000
No, it's just
and
it's a tsunami. Like nothing's gonna stop it now. It's just going. It doesn't matter what I do, and now it's just gonna go. And what made me pleased was that it's just such a positive thing. It's like people's comments are so positive about it, and music is like that. It brings a positivity to it. It's not like music. It makes me feel sad. Music always makes you feel happy. It might make you feel nostalgic, or might make you cry, but it's certainly not making you feel bad.
Yeah.
You know,
actually, I think some music can make you feel bad, particularly when you go through a breakup.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, and then you hear those songs.
But I suppose that's nostalgia. But then anything would do it. But generally, it helps you through. Then you know?
No, absolutely.
Then you say you never want to hear that song again, and then every time you hear it, you're like, shut up. Okay, some songs do irritate me. Yes. I can't see that small, Phil. You have to put them. You can actually put it on the screen, I think. if you put up the teleprompter.
There's a question there. When did you know that you wanted to study psychology?
Oh, there we go. That's the way. They can't see that on screen, so that's fantastic. Yeah. When did you know that you wanted to study psychology? It's true. Did you know that at school already?
Yeah, I did.
No ways.
I did.
Because I did not think of psychology at school.
Yeah.
What took you to that point?
Interesting. I think so. It crystallized for me while I was at Alexander Road High School, and I think a pivotal person in that, I guess other than my family members, because I think my family members were generally very supportive of whatever I wanted to do.
Yes.
So having that sort of permission and acknowledgement was very, very instrumental, I think. But I think what really helped was Kathy Balshaw, who was Kathy Wiseman.
Yes.
So you'll know Kathy.
I absolutely love the Wisemans. I love it.
Absolutely.
Joyce and Ian, also Mormon Methodist, and I was best friends with Mark.
There we go. Yeah. So I mean, great family. And the history was that I was at those youth groups at Mormon Methodist, where Kathy was playing at Club 25, which was the standards 2 to 5 at the time. And then she moved to Rhodes to go and study.
Okay.
And so there was a gap, and then I played piano, so I filled in. I was asked to fill in and do the piano for the worship. And so she knew me from then. She went to go and study, and then we met again at Alexander Road High School, where she was a teacher, and she got married, I think, in my matric year. And
Sean, yes.
and she also assisted with a lot of the life orientation, and the career guidance type stuff. And we had discussions, and I was also involved as chairman of the SCA at the time.
Okay.
So we spoke, and I think just over that time we discussed about me loving helping people, and that developed into me having some tests, psychometric tests. Which were not very helpful, because it basically said I could do anything that I wanted to put my mind to. And yet I chose psychology because I did believe that if I can influence your life, like I did.
Yes, you've absolutely helped me.
I did. Then that sends a ripple out, and it helps your family members by virtue of you being helped, and those ripple out to other people. So I sort of understood it as a system or a systemic type of intervention that I would love to make some lasting effects in people's lives.
Oh, that's fantastic. And through Kathy, I can absolutely see that. Somebody tag Kathy Balshaw as well, please, because she is such a sweetie.
Kathy, you're a legend.
She is a legend. She lives just up the road here as well. They stay up here in 7th Avenue. But and I love her folks. I actually visited them before they moved from the. They used to stay down 14th Avenue there, and we used to ride on our bicycles there every day. So that they bring a flood of beautiful memories for me, for the Wisemans. And of course, Kathy's married Sean Balshaw, who's now in partnership with my cousin.
Oh, right.
Sean
Okay.
Fogarty.
Sean and Sean, so the architects.
Sean Fogarty is my first cousin.
Oh, lovely.
And so we almost related, which makes me feel so happy, because they're an absolutely wonderful family. And Mark, Jeff, Roger, I mean, lots of kids, they were all there in that house down 14th Avenue, and I still call her Auntie Joyce. She looked after those kids so well, and as well as us, all the Handlangers that came along, Auntie Joyce would make us lunch and, organize us, take us to the ice rink at the time in her brown combi that she had. She had one of those big combis. No, so
BW.
Wonderful people, and from Warmer Meths,
Yes.
I think a lot of people there. I see Bushle G is now overseas, also part of Warmer Meths, I think.
Yes, absolutely, he is. And his drummer, Zach Pretorius, plays at Harvest. So, play with Zach.
Zach as well.
But he's been touring around with
yes.
Bushle G.
Oh, has he been touring that side as well? Because he had a nice band.
Jaden will comment and say, Bushle asked me to play the cajon with him once, and
the cajon.
So he knows, Actually, talking about that, I don't know if you've heard of the band G String.
No,
they're a Stellenbosch-based band, and they're actually been opening for Spuchwolf, and they're doing a few tours and stuff.
Wow.
And Jaden was one of the drummers in the team, and so he's played with them a couple of times as well. So
he's got a good feel. I think you need that natural feel for drums.
Yeah.
If you haven't got the natural feel, you're dead in the water. So once you're there, you start to go for it.
Yeah, but they're doing really, really well, and they've got their own drummer, and they've got things. But cool. Jaden's now playing at a church in Stellenbosch. So,
nice.
Yeah,
Jaden, I think you're always a drummer. You need a couple of things. One, you need to play out and enjoy it. The other thing is you need a guitarist to tell you to shut up. because always every drummer goes through the phase where you want to put every single chop that every single lick that you want to put it in there and try and do it.
Less is more. Hey?
Less is more. Listen to the guys around you, man.
To the mature professionals.
Oh, let's see. Philip has got the teleprompter out here. And
she wants to know what inspired me or found interest in the BWRT.
Oh yes, what inspired your interest in the BWRT? What was that also a personal thing too?
Well, I stumbled across it because my colleague mentioned one day that he was using BWRT with a patient that I referred to him. And he used some gobbledygook language that I just went over my head, and I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the PAL score didn't go down, and so this guy is definitely malingering because the recursive loops just were not making any difference. And I said, wait, Flip.
Yeah.
So tell me, by the way, his name is Flip. So it's Flip de Jager,
Flippy.
my colleague. There we go.
Flippy.
So Flip, I said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he said, well, it's BWRT. And I said, okay, that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
And I then researched it, and there was a course to do it. And it's based in neuroscience. And
so there's been studies done on it, but it certainly helped. It certainly did help. There's no doubt.
In my 25 years of being a psychologist, I haven't found any other modality to be as quick and as helpful and as efficient as BWRT, particularly because, as I mentioned before, if we talk about men or talk about even, not even women, we talk about men, women, people, adolescents. Adolescents don't like to talk.
Yeah.
And so this modality gives a way for someone to process something without going into the nitty-gritties and all the nasty details.
Okay.
And so seeing that utility just made me grab hold of it, and that's why I started, because you mentioned how fully booked I am, there are only a certain number of hours in a day.
Yes, yes, of course.
And I don't want to burn myself out.
And
You know, talk
yes,
about burnout.
yeah, we were just talking about that as well before. That you need to, because you've got so many clients, you need to say no as well sometimes.
And so I experimented and I translated the BWRT process online groups.
Yes, and yeah, so and it's the kind of thing that you can, like you say, it's almost like a template that you put over the entire thing. It takes this, and it makes it work in a quick way.
Yeah, using visualization techniques.
Yeah.
And it's scalable, that I can help as many people that come online on my Zoom calls that show up, as long as they know what they're wanting to work on.
Yeah.
Because I do like a trauma debrief, power debrief, which is actually happening Tuesday night next week at 8:00. And then I do a deep sleep clinique, so people that are suffering with insomnias or various sleeping disabilities, and then also a flatten your phobia.
Oh, okay.
So people with different phobias.
It's like people who don't like flying. For instance.
So I've had quite a number of people who don't like flying, so they come on this and then they text me or they email me afterwards and say, I got one the other day saying it felt like, she hadn't flown for years. She said it felt like I was sitting in the comfort of my rocking chair at home. Because that was one of the replacement images that she had. And so it quells all of that anxiety and that anticipatory sort of tension. And it replaces it as you rewire the brain. And remember, I said I love skeptics.
Yes.
When I started studying about this BWRT, I was skeptical, and I'm thinking, that just sounds too simplistic.
Yes.
But it works. Actually, Jaden was probably one of my first victims.
Really?
I went to him and I said, okay, let's try this out. I don't know if it's going to work. And he had a vasovagal reaction. By the way, I've got permission to say this.
Okay.
I know.
Thanks, Jaden.
Thanks, Jaden. Thanks for participating.
Yes.
But he, when he was young, he actually got a bee sting, and he came running to me in pain, and his pain, sore, bee sting, and then I took him to the bathroom to try and take the splinter or the bee sting out. I put him down to get the tweezers, and then
Bang.
he fainted. And he bashed his head on the bath, and he actually concussed himself. So I had to take him to casualty.
Crikey.
But he's always had a predisposition to getting faint. By the way, how are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Okay? I'm fine. No, it's just my knees.
So I tried it with him, and his replacement image, instead of seeing himself fainting, his replacement image was, because he's a drummer, and he was actually in the marching band at Grey High School.
Okay,
so
yes.
He saw himself, instead of falling back in this vasovagal faint state, he saw himself coming forward and drumming and then dancing with the energy that we were talking about that the music brings, and just shifting that in his mind, it's quelled that automatic response to just faint. And so he can now have injections, or he can have needle stuff.
Not a problem.
He doesn't like it, and I think that's the point. It's not that you necessarily like to do it, but you can tolerate it and you can get through it, as opposed to completely avoiding it or
passing out.
Yeah.
Well, what about addictions like smoking and whatever, drugs, whatever stuff like that? Can it be used to do that as well?
And we what we find is, there's a quote that I use to explain it, that when the will and the imagination are in conflict, the imagination will win every time. So just think about that. When the will, which is more your conscious willing, hoping, trying, striving, when that is in conflict with your imagination, or that sort of hindbrain image, that blueprint that is embedded there.
Yes.
It's that one, that unconscious embedded imagination that will win every time.
That'll win over. So you've got to try and shortcut it before it gets to there.
Yeah. And because a lot of people, they align themselves, their smoking is their identity. So, it's as an analogy, I often give this as an analogy, there's been studies to find that, people who win the lotto.
Yes. Yeah.
Win lots and lots of money.
Look.
But within a year or two,
gone. Yes.
Why?
I don't know, just bad management.
Bad management, because they don't see themselves as a person who manages money correctly, because they've never been taught. And so they don't have the blueprint. So their unconscious mind is of a poor person or a not wealthy person.
Yes.
And so their unconscious brain guides them to creating that very outcome.
Yeah.
Unconsciously so. The person would negate it. They would say, oh, absolutely not. I want to make wise decisions. But they inadvertently are guided by that unconscious blueprint. And so similarly, when a person is stressed, their blueprint is, I'm a smoker, I'm going to smoke because it calms me down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they go to certain substances. And so until they break that identity and that image, and until they can update the software basically of the brain, they can strive and they can maybe conquer the one moment, but it's going to catch them. So we need to reprogram.
It's almost like it's because it's that habit of going, okay, I'm feeling a bit stressed or whatever. Let me light up a smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Automatically. And so there are levels. There's BWRT level 1 and level 2 and level 3. But when it comes to identity, things like substance addictions that are quite chronic, personality problems that are really problematic, one tends to use BWRT level 2, which is really like doing an overhaul of the person's character.
Okay, so that's like a bit of a deep dive.
Deep dive.
Yeah. Okay.
Deep dive. So that's not a 20-minute
Okay.
once-off intervention. It's over like 4 sessions. And when you say 4 sessions, when some of the contrasting, theories and approaches of treatment are like 40 years,
Yeah.
And in this instance, we see lots of change within a 4-session period.
Goes much quicker.
Much quicker.
It really is it seems like a shortcut, but you always think, oh, too good to be true, But what else is there? What is the alternative to that? I mean, is that like just therapy sessions week after week, and was that the alternative before this?
Look, talking therapies are beneficial, particularly if you get a good fit. So one never wants to throw out the baby with the bathwater because unfortunately, a lot of people come to me, they say no one actually really listens to them. Yeah. So just having that listening ear is powerful. It's really, really powerful. And given an opportunity to reflect, I mean, you and I are having conversations right now, and it's going backwards and forwards, which is great. But to really have a concentrated time on you, a whole hour session dedicated to you, where you can explore questions that you don't often get to ask or answer. And that's powerful. So that's part of the assessments, it's part of the treatment, it's part of, I guess, a self-esteem and an ego boost, walking out and saying, actually, someone took time to invest in me. And that in and of itself can be life-changing. So one never wants to negate that other therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy or psychodynamic therapies or any of the other ones that I could list, narrative therapy, they are all beneficial. It's just that I'm just so enamored by the results that I see with BWR.
Well, it seems to be a much quicker fix. So you can, if you tried that, you can still go and do the rest if you need to.
Absolutely.
If you have to go deeper,
absolutely.
You've definitely got that calming effect. I mean, even your voice, is that a thing? And at Varsity, whereabouts did you go to Rhodes or did you go to
at
UCT?
UPE?
Oh, UPE.
So, UPE, and so I was there studying there, and I finished there. That was also traumatic to a degree, getting into masters, because it's quite a long process and quite hard to get into masters. So, you do your 3-year undergrad degree. I started university at the age of 17, so I was quite young. 3 years undergrad and then 1 year honors in psychology.
Was it Tesha Smells though? Wasn't it Tesha Smells that did the first year or 2 years? I did psychology 1 and 2, I think.
No, at the time it was Professor Watson, who also lives down the road here in Warmer. And then there's a bottleneck getting into masters to become a psychologist, and you can't practice as a psychologist without masters.
Everybody wants to do it, so
and I wanted to be a clinical psychologist, so there were only 7 places because there were 7 internship placements that were paid in the state. And so the first time I went for selection, there are hundreds of people applying, and
talking about the lotto.
Absolutely, the ratio was. Selection ratio was against me, so they chose their 7, and I was on a waiting list of 4. So that was actually even, that was even worse than saying we don't want you. It was sort of saying that we want you.
You nearly made it.
You
Sorry.
nearly made it, but sorry.
Yeah.
And then I worked as a research assistant in the university, and I applied again. But the
That
next
would have
time
helped.
I wised up.
Yeah.
I thought I'll apply to other universities.
Okay.
And then I went for an interview at Rhodes. You mentioned Rhodes. I went for Rhodes. There were only 5 positions. What happened? I heard that I was selected on a waiting list of 2. So I didn't get in. Didn't get in the second time. And that news I heard the evening before going for my panel interview at UPE for selection. So I bombed. I was catatonic. I bombed.
Oh, no.
Talk about phobia. Everything came back, that phobia of talking. But I was actually literally crushed.
Oh, my word.
Yet, so I didn't, then...
Because you have to do a whole, you have to do
a panel interview. They have to ask you questions about 7 psychologists interviewing you.
My soul, man.
Probing the depths of your soul. and I bombed. I literally bombed.
My word. Okay.
But then they said, hey, we want you to lecture, and we want you to be the psychometrist, and to check all of these other people that got in ahead of you.
Yes.
So with the confidence that came with lecturing and doing this, the next year I went for interviews, and I was selected, and I loved it. And I think that challenge and that setback of not getting in the first time or the second time, it actually matured me, and I was more ready.
Okay, it's like anything. Almost like I always used to say this about with Eminent Child with our band. We won't get a record deal until you get better than where you want to be. You don't need a record deal now, so that's when you get one. You almost didn't need to go and study more because you already got that experience. You could have gone to work, but you can still do it now.
Yeah.
It became much easier.
You guys, Eminent Child must do a reunion.
We're gonna do a reunion. Hopefully in December or January this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we've spoken about it. We've
good.
got to do it for Merle, Brad and Darren's mom. We've got to do that. Lovely band.
Is this are we letting the cat out of the bag?
No. I think we've spoken about it once before. Okay. Let's see. We've got some more comments there. Is it Shanae?
Oh, that's my wife.
Is it your dear wife? Babes, so tell me about that then. When did you get married? Straight after school?
So the first day at UPE was social work, small group. And I was allocated in the small group of about 7 people. And Shanae was this beautiful blonde-haired girl.
Oh, well, there we go. From Melody or...
She was from East London.
Oh, from East London.
And she was at Veritas.
Veritas girl. Ek dink Melody was mos Afrikaans, was dit nie?
Ja.
Ek dink so, ja.
Ja.
Ek weet nie, was dit Shanae was Melody mos Afrikaans, nee?
So we got selected, and as part of our course, because I did social work as a sort of a 1 and 2 year filler.
Okay, yes.
I'm glad I did.
What year was that? What year did you matriculate?
I matriculated in 92, and so that was
4 years after me.
So then we had to sort of tell our whole history to one another in our small group, and so I learned about her background, and she learned about my background, and somehow it didn't put each other off one another, although she made me work for it.
Oh, is it?
I had to ask her out so many times.
She kept swatting me Shanae, you're keen to go to Pizza Palace tonight? No. Oh, come on, we're going to go to Cagney's. I don't know if you're keen. No. I'm going to go see a movie now. I've already seen one.
So I eventually wore her down, and it was the 4th of December. 1993, that...
Oh, 4th of December, 1993.
She had this epiphany.
Wow.
I was the one.
Just before we got engaged. Yeah,
she's having a laugh. I bet she's giggling.
She's having a laugh, she is. I see it. Who else is there? I see Tanya.
Tanya Farid.
Tanya Fushia. Yes. How's it, Tanya? All the way from Bushman's. Here we go.
Yeah, her son's in Cape Town, Stellies as well.
Okay, excellent. And I see, Ingrid's there as well. Hello, Ingrid. Nice to see you. We were just talking about you, Ingrid. Don't forget who
Has
recorded.
Ingrid seen our
She hasn't seen our moustache.
accessories? Ingrid likes accessories.
Yes, put us on
With
the
all of
screen
her
there, Phil.
dramatic
We got
history.
our accessories for you.
Don't forget who recorded it.
Eminent child was
Andrew
Andrew Greef.
Andrew
Andrew Greef was our thing. We had during one of the early sessions of Gino's Spot, we had Andrew Greef on.
Yeah, I saw him.
And,
I was live.
Were you watching that?
Andrew.
And it went. The lights went out. I hadn't upgraded my solar, and the lights went out, and we were huddled around the screen. We were huddled around that screen, and Andrew was so good about it. He was such a legend, and we were like talking in this little light. It was hilarious.
Great.
Anyway,
Well,
but,
I mean, Andrew's been in so many situations where he has to keep his cool. As a sound engineer.
So as a psychologist, you can appreciate that in a man like Andrew.
Absolutely. Actually, thinking about that, I mean, having done a lot of shows and a lot of production type stuff as well, I always anticipate there's going to be some technical thing. So I just rest in it. Just rest in it. And I think maybe that's also what helps as a psychologist. You know, you can't over anticipate what another person is going to say, and you can't over anticipate what you're going to say. You have to be fully present, listening to the other person. Otherwise, if you're rehearsing your response, you lose where the other person is coming from. So I think it's just that settledness.
So you've got to be a brilliant listener as a psychologist. I have seen sort of similarities with doing comedy and psychology. You know, where you've got to read this person, or you've got to try and figure it out. And as a comedian, there's no rules. You can just imagine for most of it. But you've got to actually sit and work out what's going on, you know.
Actually, it also gives me a license to ask a person
anything
I can dream up. I can sort of sell it. I can, obviously you want to be client-centered.
Yes.
You don't have something coming in at a real
right angle.
Right angle, like I give the impression that I've got ADHD. Squirrel.
I'm there.
But yeah, you can actually ask anything as long as it's helpful for the person.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think similarly as a stand-up
comedian. Well, you pick out those things that you always pick up the problem immediately. Okay, what's the problem here? What kind of person is that? Most of my characters, you're like, I could actually in a session with you with some of my characters. That speed cop that I usually have, a speed cop is rule bound. And everything has to be in a rule. If it's not in the rule, then there's a problem.
Wow, there we go.
In his head, there are rules like this and then.
So that's obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
Really?
Yeah.
So obsessive compulsive, that is a speed cop.
Yeah, that's right.
And the hippie guy, he's like kind of open to anything. Like literally, my mind is open.
Yeah.
But in his way, he's trapped in himself as well. In a way, Lentil Versace is his name.
All right.
Yeah.
So that gives me vibes of what one would call a little bit of a schizotypal personality.
Perhaps, I don't know if he ever loses his cool.
Yeah.
Certainly smokes a lot of ganja.
Yeah, because he's dissociated and living in that abstract world half
Dissociated
of the time.
is a good way to describe him. Yeah, he's like totally, and then he talks like in the third person sometimes, and it's like, and doesn't understand a lot about his wife.
I could make lots of money out of you.
Celery.
Therapizing all of your...
You could do that, all the characters. And Rowan Benoni, he's a guy. Rowan's a guy, sells firewood in the corner, and he loses things, and his father comes to fetch the firewood, and there's no firewood, and then where's the money? I don't know. And then klim in die bakkie, you weet. So he's probably got problems at home as well.
Yeah. I'll reserve my other diagnoses.
Okay. Oh, Mark, absolutely fabulous to have you on the show tonight. I think I don't know if there's. I mean, we've spoken about the piano stuff. We've spoken about the psychology, but I think I'm going to give you a few little random questions,
random.
getting to know you questions, and we'll try and dig out a bit of your personality.
Oh,
See
dear.
if we can do a bit of psychology on the psychologist.
Maybe you need a Kit Kat.
a Kit Kat break. Look, my wife has given us have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Thank you,
because that's what
Philippa.
you should do if you're not feeling right. You know,
Yes.
if you're stressed.
So I'm going to prescribe a Kit Kat for all of you watching.
Excellent.
Okay, how's that?
Kid, Roundtree's are going to love you.
There we go.
Nestle's going to love you for that.
Can we get some sponsorship? From
A sponsor,
There we
I
go.
think we need to get.
Yeah, come on, good.
Maybe Cadbury's can hop on board. I think it'd be
Yeah.
lovely.
There we go.
Okay, so we,
you, getting to know all about you.
all right. The getting to know you section, just random questions, and they maybe delve a little bit into your personality. Something particularly spontaneous or irresponsible that you've done in your life. You don't strike me as an irresponsible, spontaneous.
I'm going to have to dig deep.
Well, you know, we can always ask Shanae as well.
There we go.
We've got her online, so we can always give us a little
Actually,
spontaneous.
you mentioned something. So Shanae would probably embarrass me by saying, Mark, do you remember in first year when you were leading, playing a guitar in one of those SCA meetings,
Yes.
wearing those short white PT shorts?
The silver ones or the white ones?
No, the white ones.
Ah, God.
And
You know,
I think they were a little bit too short.
Ja, nee, you
little
know,
bit too
jy
short.
weet, jy wys bietjie van jou knop, jy weet.
Yeah, but you're quite at home
buying
in
gadgets. That's what the son's saying. Buying
Buying
gadgets. Gee whiz, that's a spontaneous thing.
Okay.
No, I must admit that you do seem like you could be spontaneous. Absolutely. You know, irresponsible, I don't know.
Yeah, but look, my best friend is. I've got two best friends. One being David Root, who actually sang in some of those Showtime
right.
things.
I know the
that
name
we've
actually.
done.
I do know that. I
David
probably
Root.
met him along the way.
He's a great guy, and when him and I get together, we are we just laugh and we're hilarious. And my other best friend, who was also my best man at our wedding, it was. Kyle Mulroy. Kyle Mulroy. He's in Rotterdam at the moment. So
Oh, Rotterdam, van
Hi,
Heim,
Kyle.
Nederland. Hello, Kyle. Nice to see you over in the Netherlands.
yeah, so whenever we're together, that's therapy. That's therapy for me.
Bit of laughter.
A bit of laughter, because I tend to be serious when you've got clients dealing with serious issues.
Yes, I know.
You need to be
Lord.
serious. But
Yes, that's it, Shana.
oh, you were so confident, fortunate. Are you talking about when I asked you 200 times
so
to
confident.
go out with you, and she kept?
No, she's talking about the PT shorts.
Oh, the PT
I think,
shorts.
Yeah.
There we go. I also, my parents bought these lovely winter woolly jerseys from Art in the Park. Remember
Oh,
Art in the
good,
Park?
yes,
those
yes.
little
To go on
reindeers,
Sunday,
those
yeah.
red ones, those. And I would wear those with my white PT shorts. And I think it
No,
looked,
that's some confidence that,
think
you
it
know.
looked- yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't crochet. Yes, the PT shorts. I'm surprised you didn't crochet some shorts for him, Shanae, you know. Clearly she quite liked those, you know.
well,
That made the difference. It made all the difference.
she took a shine to me.
You know. Those are the wrong choice
So
of
we've
words.
been together ever since then, by the way. So
Okay.
from the 4th of December, 1993.
Wow.
And we got married. So we got engaged 7 years thereafter.
Okay.
Because I had to qualify as a psychologist. So every year that I was not getting accepted into masters,
Just putting off the wedding.
putting off the wedding.
Oh,
so
Lord.
that was why I was so
Kept in hand.
catatonic,
Keep him hanging on. Shanae, honestly, really.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see the biggest risk that you have ever taken. Ever. Who must want to know?
Asking Shanae out again and again.
Again and again and again.
And it paid off.
It did. She, you know, it just show if you keep on chopping a tree, you know, doesn't matter how small the axe is, you keep on chopping, and you eventually get there.
Yeah. and I think maybe another one is when we went overseas, we put an offer in on a property here. So I resigned from being a lecturer at the university.
Okay.
I was headhunted by a hospital in the UK, but I went over not really knowing if I'd like it. And
Yes.
Shanae was working at Childline for a while, and then as a social worker, and then also at FAMSA. And she resigned knowing she had to follow me.
Yeah.
We were married by that time.
Well, she was making a lot of money there as well at Childline and FAMSA, I'm sure. You know, it's clearly, Shanae, you're clearly a beautiful person because, you know, to do that as well, it's a vocation, you know.
Absolutely. So I think the risk was putting down putting an offer on the first property. That was like risky. That was like adult stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're going overseas, and then we had to sort of figure out how to pay for it and all from overseas.
How are you going to do it? You're right.
But that paid off, and it worked. And
and you're still married.
And we're still married.
After all these years, you know.
That's right.
And I loved it about, you know, Childline thing. It is a vocation. It's a kind of thing that you can't expect money for. You've got to you're doing it for helping people. Yeah. And, you know, it's certainly in the medical profession and doctor psychology as well, same thing. It's part of that is a vocation. Music is kind of like that too, because you can't almost know you're going into a land where there's no money to be made, but and you're going to be doing freebies here and there. You're going to be helping, but you're making people happy. Yeah. And in your situation, you're certainly helping to make people happy, better, you know, cope, to help them to cope with life.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
As Simon Sinek says, you know, if you know your why, then that purpose is, you know, just makes everything so crystal clear. Yeah.
Okay, so the most nervous that you've ever been?
Yeah. I think that, you know, it probably comes down to those public speaking phobias that I had earlier. You know, and it's something that I really had to work at. If I knew BWRT then, I probably would have overcome it a lot quicker.
So you literally train yourself with that stuff as well. Yeah. But I think you almost did it in a way that when you started getting a good response. Yeah. I mean, here you're doing the Zoom things without one iota of fear or thing. You're sitting here with us. Yeah. So many people have been nervous coming in the studio. You know, it's just me. You know, Donnie Gerber said to me, "Yo, you're so and I'm like, you Donnie Gerber, what are you talking about?" Yeah. You know, it's just me. You know.
Well, one of the biggest phobias out there is a fear of public speaking. Yeah. And so it's not uncommon. And, you know, when people do have these type of things, you know, they're very conscious of the camera and what are people going to think of me? And I think when one can shift it around and say, well, how can I add value to others? And this is why you thrive. It's because you're not focused on you. Yeah. You throw your name
yes, absolutely, every
for
time.
the sake of others. And
you're so right.
And people see that and they connect with that. And I think, you know, when people can see that authenticity, that it's not about that mistake that you make. It's not about the hesitation of the words. It's not, am I dressed okay? It's, are we helping you? You know, what is it we can impart to you? What can we invite you to think of? You know, that just turns it all around for me. Yeah. And so it makes it so much better. So I think that phobia was a big part of my development, but I think a big part of my overcoming and a sense of hope that I can also give to others.
Yeah. Just so how many children have you got?
Three
kids.
Children. Yeah, all musicians.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Love that. So Jaden's eldest.
Jaden's the eldest drummer, and he's playing the ukulele, and he's going to be learning
Lego
guitar. Lego rock band. And he wants to learn piano again. We started him off with piano because of, you know, being a pianist. Actually, and the girls as well. We started them with piano, but Jessica plays.
Jessica and
Jenna. Yeah,
love
all
that.
J's. 3 J's.
Oh, yeah, 3 J's.
Jaden, Jessica, and Jenna. And Jessica's just done her grade 6 saxophone, alto sax. She nailed it.
All right.
Brilliantly.
Lovely.
I think it was 94%.
Oh, Lord. Like
okay. So well done, Jess.
The sax player. Lovely. Sax, brilliant. Easy to carry, you know.
Yeah, and then Jenna plays the flute.
Okay.
Just done an exam.
Flautist.
And a vocalist.
Oh, lovely.
So
Oh, yes,
you-
she did the song.
Yeah, so
That was lovely. Jenna, that was
Jenna.
Jenna, that was a lovely song, Arla, and your voice is beautiful. So I love that music in the family. Perfect. Jay, Jay Eaton. It's going to be a post box is going to be the nightmare.
I know.
Oh, there we go. We're back. Philippa's pushing buttons over there. All right, two more. Let's see. Career highlight that you're most proud of.
I think, every time that I see the light in someone's eye change, when they learn something, they have an insight and they overcome something, that's very, very special. That sounds quite sentimental, but I really mean it because, I think I'm only as good as the last person that I help.
It sounds like as good as the last gig.
Yeah,
There
good
we
as
go.
the last gig. So I think that is what keeps me going. There are a lot of things that I pride myself on doing. I think being able to stand up in court and testify in these really high-powered medico-legal matters.
Yes.
Again, it's a public speaking confidence that I've got and developed over time that I can utilize. But I use that position to advocate for people that can't advocate for themselves. So, if a person's been brain damaged by virtue of a road accident or by a medical negligence claim, or if a person's malingering and trying to get out millions more than they need to be getting out,
right.
I need to be able to, try and give the facts as independently and professionally as I can. And so, I love the fact that I like variety. So I do that aspect.
So you spend a lot of time in court as well doing this stuff, analyzing the victim or the plaintiff, whatever you call it.
Yeah, the plaintiff or the defendant.
Or the defendant, and giving your own theories on that.
Yeah.
And gee whiz, that is interesting. So does that take a lot of your day up as well? Will you take certain days a week?
Yeah, that's the variety that I have to juggle. I've got to juggle the medico-legal evaluations and then the therapy.
What else do you include in this in that whole?
Well,
so it's court cases,
personal therapy, and then lately I've been doing quite a lot of presentations around the country. Running medical conferences for MD Health Connections. So we coordinate a lot of speakers, and I sort of am the MC in between the specialists giving CPD points to professionals. So I'm on a plane to Durban and Cape Town and drive to East London, and so a bit like you.
Yes, all over the place. Lots of gigs.
Yeah, lots of gigs, and I love it. So
that's magic. All right. One I forgot about it that I want to hear is the worst job that you've ever had, the crappiest job that you've ever had.
I never saw myself as being a waiter, and that's where my music came into it. So I did music jobs. At various restaurants and O'Hagan's. We played at O'Hagan's.
Really?
And there was the Tea Swing Cafe.
Yes, where was that again?
That was in Ring Street. Actually, David Root and I did a two-man gig, and then we played
Tea Swing Cafe.
Yeah, but I think one of the worst gigs was at a wedding. I played at a wedding. So I was talking about the worst job. I was playing at a wedding, and I could see that the bride and the groom's family obviously had separated, or there was bad blood.
Oh dear!
And I was just seeing these like fuming. Smoke coming out.
You could analyze it from there already.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's hilarious.
Actually, and that's the funny thing. When I would be playing, people would come up to me as a student, and they say, "Oh, you a student?" And I said, "Yes." And they say, "Oh, music." I said, "No, psychology." And then
oh dear! Everybody avoiding.
Yeah. And I'd always say, "Oh, are you reading my mind right now?"
Yes.
And I'd start off saying, no. But eventually I just said, well, yes.
Yes. Because I'm sure it's always there. Do you if you go into a room with a whole lot of people, do you see it from outside in? Do you see that all of a sudden you analyze, okay, that person's got that, this person got that. You just can't help yourself.
I can't help myself.
Of course you can't.
The meter's not running. And I sometimes make that joke, and I actually make that sort of boundary distinction in my mind, is that, if I'm always switched on in analytical mode, and that sounds intimidating actually, and one doesn't want to be in an analytical mode. So for example, I'm hoping you're not feeling I'm analyzing you right now.
No,
that's the the ethos that I want to bring into a room, not like
It's
Inspector Clouseau.
No, it's for yourself, I think, because it's like music. It's like as a musician now, you listen. You're with your mates. I'm with my mates, and we have a bit of a music thing. Come on, we each put on our favorite song, and I'm listening to their songs, and I'm thinking, I can't listen. I've heard this song 5 million times. I don't want to hear it again. Why can't I just let it wash over me and enjoy it? Why can't I break it down, listening to the hi-hats and thinking this drummer is so crap. I wish I could rather be listening to something else that I enjoy. Or you go into a pub and listen to a band and everybody else is just enjoying the music and you're thinking, the guitar's out of tune, man.
You can't switch it off. You can't switch it
No,
off.
you can't. And it ruins it a bit.
It does ruin it.
Yeah, a little bit. You can't just enjoy it. I think you have to get into some sort of other sort of realm.
like Shanae. Shanae was a dancer, so she's not a musician per se. But with all of the rest of the family being musicians, if we're out somewhere and there's someone performing or gigging, we're side-eyeing one another, and it's like out of tempo, and it doesn't sound nice because it sounds judgmental. But the thing is, as a muso,
you just wired that way. You have to. Let's have a look at a few comments there. I just one or two before. There we go. Thanks, Dad. I don't know what that's about. A beautiful family, says Ingrid.
Thank you, Ingrid.
She's
Ingrid.
Great.
We know the Grief so well, and they know us inside and out. And
yes.
Ingrid and Andrew will tell you of like little Jenna.
Oh, really?
When she was up on stage once at a Christmas party. She's just so cute. They probably can't believe how they are. How they've grown and over the years.
Oh, your kids, it's amazing how your life just is not about your own anymore. When you have that first child, it's just like, okay, my life is now over. My life as I knew it is now over. And it's not really about me anymore.
Actually, I think that was also a pivotal stage of anxiety, is realizing it's not just me anymore. And
rely on you.
There are children. And, if I don't keep it together, then
they're all going to suffer.
And I think that's going back to that sort of male masculinity thing. It's not a stereotype. Well, one doesn't want to get into stereotypes because women can be the bigger breadwinner in the family. But I think whatever breadwinner takes that role, it can get quite stressful. And I think this is why some of the emphasis with Movember is on men who feel that pressure and are encouraged to not just grin and bear it, is to actually sort of ask for help or raise their hand and say, actually, I am struggling. And realize that they don't have to suffer inside and them getting the support for themselves systematically helps their spouses and their children,
everyone around
them.
Because there's, I just feel, and I don't know, it's just because of my age now or since COVID or what it is, but I just feel that people in general are getting more stressed. Like life is going at so much of a faster pace with internet and never mind email, flipping social media and WhatsApp, and everybody wants an answer right now. You reachable wherever you are. You're sitting on the bloody toilet and you're reachable. It's just absolutely crazy.
Well, that is a choice. You know that.
You
don't have to sit on the toilet with yourself.
It's true. I know. It's true.
And I think this is where boundaries come into it. And we use BWRT for people with social media addiction as well.
Really?
Because again, what you're doing is unconsciously you're just you're wiring your brain to fall into that expectation that you need that stimulation all of the time. You need those likes. You need that affirmation, and it's often pseudo affirmation and then comparison with others, and the result is a really fragile self-esteem. And so using some means to say, whoa, stop. Just stop and think about this. That in and of itself is useful. But then to try and get the brain to rewire and exit from that doom scrolling.
Yes, yeah, because you just don't realize how much time you waste on that stuff. It is crazy. But here we are on social media,
There we go.
But you weren't scrolling, were you? You were just looking at us
You got to love it.
the whole time. Mark, it's been absolutely fascinating. I really have enjoyed this interview. Thanks so much for coming on board.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you to our sponsors, to Opinion, to Fit Your Leads, and also to Super Crush. Look at our Super Crush up here at the top. Super Crush, this is the last in the series of the Super Crush. Guys, thank you so much for your sponsorship. They did a short-term sponsor of the show, and they were marvelous. Love you for that. Sylvia Scavanti and the pledges. It's Trent Pledger and Mark Pledger. And thank you so much for joining us. And check in next week. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Next Tuesday, 6:30. Every Tuesday, 6:30. Cheers. Ciao.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
We're back. We're back. But only for short.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's spot.